So faceting is one of the important features which we have been talking about, and we saw in the velocity UI itself that the facets come handy with the Solr in the type of UI which is already provided by Solr. So it is nothing but the arrangement of the search results into the definable categories on the basis of the indexed terms. So the searcher, the guy who's searching for, are presented with the indexed terms along with the numerical counts of like how many matching documents were there as in under the different categories. So likewise, I'm sure you guys have seen something similar to this on each e-commerce website, that we have the broad categories therein, and we see that there are few numbers given, which means that these are the number of documents which fall under this category. So if you look into it more closely, you could specify that the manufacturer is one of the facet, okay, and this is if you refine your results on the basis of manufacturers, then we have these are the main manufacturers, the Canon, Sony, Nikon, Olympus. So these are the faces created on the basis of manufacturer. Okay, and these are the constraints or the facet values. Okay, so this is something like we were talking about. I think this should be a good candidate to be explained as the collapsible query parser. So we have something like this which shows up. So every time you click somewhere, it would say that these are the type of constraints you have applied on your test, on your results basically. Okay, so if you remove a few of these constraints, then you would get more results. Or maybe if you apply more constraints, you will get less number of results. So it is kind of refining your results. Okay. All right. Then you have the facet counts, which is basically the count which is there in the parentheses, which says that how many results do really this facet contains. So faceting really makes it easy for a user to explore the search results. So if you would want to see that I want to create faces on the basis of price, or I want to create faces on the basis of like I'm looking for a camera, and say I'm looking for the camera with a resolution of 60 megapixels. So it would create, it would refine your results in the manner in which you could see the relevant documents first. And it would let you know that maybe you're looking for the 60 megapixels, I have something which is better than that as well. Then probably there might be a zoom range as well, which could be categorized as well. So this is something which is pretty handy for a user, for a searcher basically. Okay. So you have general parameters in such queries, which are like if you want to turn facets on. So if you turn facets to true, that enables the faceting basically. And if you say that facet.query and then you provide the query, it would let you specify the facet query on the basis of which the facets are generated. So this is the field value faceting parameters. If you specify the facet field, likewise on which field do you really want to create the facet on. And likewise I want to see only the facets which say start with say CA, maybe the Canon and some other maybe brand, or I'm looking for say Fuji film or something of that sort. So I can always specify that the facets which would start with those letters would only be shown to the user. Okay, then facet would be sorted. I mean on the basis of what would be the sorting parameter, how are the faces sorted basically. Then you would have the limit as well, that I do not want to see any facet which is going to have say less than 5 results or maybe less than 2 results. So if anything has got only 1 result, then do not show that facet. Okay. So how many documents should be there in a facet to be rendered on the UI basically. Then you can also specify the facet offset. Like I can say that I have the price range from 50 to 1000. So I can basically decide what would be the offset. I mean, what would my each facet would have the difference of say 100 or 200 maybe. That would control the number of facets basically. Then you have the facet mini count, which specify the minimum count required. Okay, I think I missed this facet limit was the number of facets to be returned, and the facet mini count is the minimum count. Minimum count to be included in the facet to be rendered on the UI. I'm sorry, I think I got confused between these two. So facet missing is the one which should control that if there are no matching results with the facet. Say I'm saying that I'm trying to construct a facet, say on the offset of say 100 each from 50 to 1000, then there might be a range in which none of the documents would come up. So how do I control that behavior is what I'm going to specify in facet.missing. Okay. Let us see the, okay, we have few more parameters here. Facet.method is again the algorithm in which we can specify if we want to create the facet using some other algorithm. And I think filter cache and stuff like these are again more advanced features. Okay, so faceting, like if we say we can, okay, we have these documents here. Okay, I think we have the schema and stuff here. Okay, let us see. This might really help me. So I cleared up the collection. I want to change the schema of this guy. Yes, and I say that these are the post.jars. Okay, I would not really need this one. Oops. Okay, these are a few examples probably. So this might help us creating the facets without having to add anything. I think I might have to switch off this thing as well. Let me try deleting this one. Oops. So there we go. Input XML. So I think what we can do over here is just to make sure that it is uploaded to the right core. So let us see. I think I specified the right command. I don't want to look into it again. I think I specified that here. Yeah. So it's trying to load. So I gave you this thing. This is another way in which you could post up your documents. So what I'm trying to do here is that, okay, let me see if I can go to, okay, bin Solr start. Okay, and I think it would open up another one for me. Right, so what I'm going to do here is that Java -d-URL. So I am going to upload that to let me just make some modifications here. Okay, so this was the one. Okay, let me do this. Okay, I'm trying to upload this to collection 2, and the literal ID would be class 6, and it would be application XML, and I can specify the name as input.xml. Okay. So this document should be here. Okay, so I copied it here. Okay, never mind. I can always go back to this example docs. Okay, and I say upload this. Okay. Oops, I think I did not copy the entire. Okay. All right. So I said this. Oh. It's supposed to be input.xml. Okay. We have something like an exception here. So, okay. Okay, text field. I think we specified that on the schema here. Oh. We looked into Solr and the collection to schema was anyway changed. I think this was modified. No? I think yes. It is modified. I'm not sure why is it not taking it. So there seems to be some problem with this schema. So schema file is this one, and it could not load it because the text specified on the field name is not correct. Okay, there seems to be some issue with this schema XML. What I'm going to do over here is that I'm going to quickly see if we can get hold of something else, something as a better example. Okay, so let's try. Okay. Anyway, we could see few facets through the Solr admin UI as well. Over here, if you see, let's try creating the few facets here. I'm looking into collection 1. It's giving me a tough time somehow. Okay, we have something like this. Let's go into different core, which has. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have retrieved 42 documents. Okay, any guesses, any suggestion, guys? The the parameter which I should consider creating the facets. Anything you guys can suggest? I'm trying to create that on the cat field, and this would be my. Okay, let's not say electronics. Let us try running a simple example here. And I say that. Okay, price, yes, Kim, we could always create. So I'm trying to preserve the price example for the range query, basically, the range faceting. So these are the number of facets which were generated with the category. So we have electronics here, which had approximately 12 documents, the currency one, the memory, the 2 documents in the connector category, the graphic card, hard drive, okay? So we did not specify any field, any facet query, so it did not really got me anything here. Then we have also not specified any facet ranges here and the facet dates here and the intervals as well here. So that is why it is all coming empty. So what if I added, say, the field query, the facet query, and I said that I'm looking for maybe the Samsung ones or Samsung or apple maybe. Let's see what do we get now. So apparently it got me the Samsung ones and it got me the, okay, Samsung or Apple. So how many has it got me now? Okay, so Samsung or Apple apparently has has 2 documents therein. So that is why it is giving me the 2 documents here. So faceting, the results which are very, very specific to the faceting would be included here. So as in when you keep on mentioning the parameters here, you're going to see these will be populated. So what if I say that, let me specify more. Okay, I say that I'm looking only for the faces which start with ELE. So I'm only going to get the faces which start with ELE. Let's see. So ELE was there in 3 faces. So I got only these faces. So let us see if we can get hold of. Okay, we have tried all the parameters which were available here. Is there anything which we left which is mentioned here? No, the face it true. Okay, so otherwise if you look into the query here, it has face it equals to true. If you are sending in this query through the UI basically, so you would have to turn on the face it. So this has been taken care of by that checkbox which was there, right? Okay, yeah. So see, it gave me this error because there seems to be some problem with the schema. I tried replacing that one. So I think it is the wrong schema. So it is the problem with the schema. So maybe you should also not try this example. Maybe you should also try something like this. So that there seems to be some problem in the schema. So, okay. Let us go back to the Edureka course. So collection 2 anyway is not loaded now. Okay. Oh, all right. Which one is the next one? Okay. Rest of the things we have already covered here. So I think we're good with the faceting. Let's see if we have anything like the range facets here. So I think not. I think the schema is for Solr 4.0. I'm not sure, Sushant, because I've tried replacing the schema once. I mean, I do not remember for which example did I do that, but it worked that time. Maybe there is some other problem, and just because we are running out of time, that is the only reason I don't want to really look into it. I hope field type text is unknown. Yeah, so maybe text is not really defined as the field. That is the reason, or maybe it was not the correct one. So I would have I would look into it or probably get the right one uploaded. Let me try this after the class maybe. So maybe they forgot to create the field text maybe. Text is there, but so I'm not sure what exactly is the problem. No, not really deprecated because I've been using text all the more in all the examples I have been using. So I'm sure it is not deprecated basically, but there must be there might be something else. So okay, let's see if we have anything else here. Okay, so it must be the range faceting. Okay, no, it is not the range faceting. Okay, so let us quickly cover a few more topics before we disperse for the day. Okay, so then we have the range faceting, which is you know, kind of another feature which is basically added for evaluating the ranges for the data which has anything in which we could make the ranges. We could form the range. say the price, or we could also lexically form the ranges. So we could specify facet.range, okay. Like we say facet equals to true, we say that we want to turn on the range faceting. Then we can say that facet.range, which starts from say a particular price or particular word, and then we say the facet would end at this particular word, and the gap would be of say whichever number of documents or the numbers. Maybe we took one of the examples like the price range is from 50 to 1000, and we would like to create the range which starts from 50 to 1000, and we say that the gap would be of 100 each. Let me take a sip of water, guys. Okay. So we could also specify the facet.range.hardEnd, which is a Boolean parameter basically that specifies how Solr handles the range gap. So it is supposed to be say evenly distributed. So that could also be done. Okay. So if it is true, the hardEnd equals to true, then the last range constraint will have the facet_range.end value as an upper bound. Like I say that my faces are supposed to start from 50 to 1000, but I do not have anything which has the value of 50. So I have the value starting on from 100, and I just have the values which range from say 100 to 990. So when I say that I'm trying to form the facets with 50 to 1000, it is going to create that as the say the upper bound, and the lower bound basically would be the exact width of the specified range gap. So by default it is false. Okay. So we could also specify if we would like to include and exclude the upper and the lower bounds by using this facet.range include parameter. So it could be true or it could be false. So let's take, I have I've not taken any examples for this one. So let's see if you could get hold of something. Okay, let's forget this one. So I have this query which was there. Okay, let me get rid of this thing. This as well. Okay. Okay, let's see, we can get hold of something like this. Okay, and I say faceting, and I say price is the field, and let's see if I can get the basic query. Then we can make few modifications therein. Okay, let's see if we have got any facets. Yes. So we've got a few facets here. So what we could do is we could define the facet range here. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to say that facet.range equals to true. Range equals to true. Okay. And with what all parameters we have here. And I say that facet field is price, and facet dot what was it, range dot start with the say 100, and facet dot end, no, facet dot range dot end equals to 2000, and I specify facet dot gap. Is it range gap or gap? Okay, range gap. Facet dot range dot gap equals to say 100. That's it, I guess. Yeah. So let's try this example. Okay. So seems like we've not got any ranges here. Something must be wrong. Okay. This seems to be fine. And I say that facet field is the price field. Facet dot range. Okay, am I supposed to say, okay, I can always remove the, it is not listing this parameter. Let's see if we got anything now. No. Okay. All right. What is missing? Any suggestion, guys? I mean, this seems to have worked. Okay, let's see, what did we miss? Let me take off these. Okay, facet range is true and facet dot field equals to price. Let's see if we have the range facet available. Okay, there seems to be some problem with the facet dot range here. So maybe that is the reason. The facet dot range thing is not, seems to be working on here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that might be. Oh, yes. I think that makes, yeah. I seems to be forgetting a lot of things for some reason. Okay. Thank you so much, Sushwin. That's so nice of you, actually. You're a lifesaver. So, these are basically the facets which are created, and these are the facet ranges. So, I mean, there are times, you know, when you keep on, you kind of forget, things kind of slip out of your mind. So, because you have the nice, you know, UI for a lot of things. So these are basically the ways. So facet.range is going to, over here you're going to specify the field on which we're trying to turn the range facets on. So thank you so much, Sushwin, for helping me out with this one. Okay, so we're trying to create the facets on the price, and we say that the range starts from 100 and it goes till 2000. So the last facet formed was for 1900. So there's this way in which you could create the range facets basically. Okay. So I think we could also try a few more examples. Maybe I could give you more advanced example for this one when I provide you with the lab exercise for this one. Then we have the pivotal decision tree faceting. Now this is again the more say advanced form of the faceting, in which you have all the summarized data therein, right? Did you guys remember what we saw when we saw the clustering of the results on the velocity UI? We have the categories under each facets. So it's like if there were facets which were created, we also saw the we also saw that there were subcategories of each facet. So it is kind of a more handy tool when it you know, comes to the summarization basically. So you could, you know, automatically sort, count, or create the average of the data which is already stored on that facet. So it is more like a drill down function basically, like we have the breadcrumbs. So when you would like to drill down or drill up the data, so you would want to use the pivotal decision tree faceting. So there is this example over here. So let us see if, okay. So what we could do is we need to include, along with this one, we need to include this. Okay, let's see if we get something. Okay, we have got something here. So we're trying to limit the number of facets which are generated, and the facet field is the category, and the pivotal facet is created on category, popularity, and in stock. Okay. I wonder why the popularity thing has been repeated here. Anyway, so we can see that once we navigate back to the results here. So every time we have the pivot facet here, we can see that the count of this is 2. So this is basically giving me the number of facets. Okay, the facet fields were there. So the category had the subcategories here. Like there were 12 documents under the category itself, which came under the category of 12 under the electronics, and then 4 documents under the category of books, then 4 under the category of currency. Okay, then we have the pivot faces created here. So when we saw that field was category, and we were looking into the electronics sub-facet. So we had these two, these 12 documents which form the part of this facet. And then further this facet had popularity, in stock, as 2 drill down features which were available with the each facet. So I hope I did not confuse you guys. This is kind of say you're creating facets, and then what you're trying to do is that you're trying to add additional information with each facet. That is why it was repeated. So these are the major facets, and then you're trying to contain popularity and category as the pivot facets basically. Okay, is that clear, guys? Yes, no, maybe? Okay. Okay, all right. So I'll take say another 5 minutes or something. Okay, so interval, this is like because I want to create, I want to clear the faceting thing for today's session. Maybe we could continue with the rest of the topics for say next week's session. Okay, so interval faceting allows you to set a variable interval and count the number of documents that have values within those intervals. Okay, so it is like you turn the you specify that if the specific field would be faceted by intervals. So for this you need to have the doc values enabled. So you would be able to perform this type of faceting only on the kind of fields which have the doc values enabled. So I guess we discussed this when we were discussing the schema.xml, that for the advanced features like highlighting and faceting, we need to have the doc values equals to true. That needs to be set to true, like this. So over here, if you see, we have the category field and so this could be used for such kind of faceting, the interval faceting. So you could set up maybe the length of the interval, and then you could specify facet interval dot set, and then you can set the interval. Say if you're talking about maybe the price field, I mean that's something which is coming to my mind. So you could create the interval of, say, the starting field would be something like 5 to 10. So next field would be created on the basis of 10 to 15, something of that sort. So you would create the interval of faceting.